Once upon a time, the legend was saying that there will be a new knight rising to defeat the Hydra clan boss. Now, the knight didn't know that he actually had a twin brother and they were separated at birth. Unlike him, this brother of his is taking his strengths, his powers from devouring his partners, his lovers, and that made him into a madman. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. I'm Skratch. In today's video, we're gonna make a team with double Madman, and as I mentioned, he needs to devour his partners in order to become powerful. Now, I am on the test server, that's why I fed the legendary guy, so don't do it, okay? Just don't do it. Don't do it at home, don't try it, but basically here, we're free to do whatever we want, and his build is ready to rumble. So we got a double trouble in the team. One thing that I want to mention from the very beginning, this is not a beginner guide. This is not something that you will be able to achieve in the early or mid game. This is an end game team meant to improve the damage that you're dealing in the Hydra clash to allow you to get closer to the top chest of 600 million. And mainly is something that most of you guys will be tempted to try for fun, because that's why we're playing games, basically. Yesterday, we tried a very OP team with one Madman in there just to see his damage, to show you how it works. And I'm not gonna lie, it's much better if you have OP champions next to them that will allow you to kill the Hydra heads quick, have them decapitated, and then have the Madmans to deal the damage, okay? Very, very important to have something like that. In today's video, I'm gonna try something a bit more casual. So we're going to have Arbiter, we're going to have Molly for the provoke, for the mischief target, Lydia, she's part of it. Supreme Gallic is in here for block buffs and some damage. Now, you can potentially replace him with an Ugo and replace Lydia with somebody else that will give you weaken. Weaken is very important, I would say, so I wouldn't want to drop the weaken just because of that. This is more annoying than running the Corpulent Cadaver team. The RNG can be 1,000 times worse than in that team. So this is a lot of trial and error when you're running a team like this. It really depends if you have enough patience to try it. Sometimes you can do it from the first try. Sometimes you need 10, 15 tries at the beginning to set it up, you know. And after, of course, the RNG can work against you. That being said, let's jump into the run and I'll show you the stats on the champions at the end, okay? So we're gonna buff. I have nothing to deal with the Head of Torment in the team, and I could do Cardiel, I could do the Fusion Champion, the mythical one, and have a Yannica, have a Turvold to literally wipe these heads down, and that will be a lot of damage much faster, okay? Much faster. So that's a much crazier version. I'm not gonna take you guys through the entire run, but I'm gonna highlight some of the more interesting things that we are having in the run right here. And the goal is not to reach the turn limit. The goal is to deal as much damage as fast as possible. I'm gonna try to reach roughly, I don't know, over 1 key, and we'll see what we're gonna get from there and how fast, of course. Provoke. I feel like I've been talking enough, and we're on a time counter here, 48 seconds. Time to crack on with it. The first head that you want to kill is the Head of Mischief. Now, that splash damage might not be on our in our favor, because you know what? It might not proc. Sometimes it might feel like it's 80% chance not proc, 20% proc. But then the RNG should even out based on all the things that the guys that love math are saying, you know? I'm always listening to them. Skratch, your RNG will even out. You open 2,000 small stones and you got nothing, don't worry, the RNG will even out by 2050, so keep on doing it. That's what they're telling me, basically, so I still have faith in them. The next head that I want to kill, guys, I'll be honest, is the Head of Rat. Now, the main issue that I find with this team is that we have too many magic heads in the rotation, and weak hits. Unlike Corpulent Cadaver, weak hits affect Madman. Having a shield on a newly spawned Hydra head affects Madman's damage, so it's not really the same sort of broken thing that was with Corpulent Cadaver, you know? Splash damage, nice. Another time. They said no. Not now, Skratch. We'll do it later. Okay. We wanna smack that decapitated head as fast as possible and deal as much damage as possible on the rest, you know? Okay, we did some splash damage there, I like it. They died, that's fine. We're gonna kill 2 more heads. Now, the main thing that we need to do super quick is revive everybody and start dealing some damage, because look at that. You see, we have all these Hydra heads down. And now is the moment. Now is our chance to jump quick and put in some serious numbers. I do hope that I'm gonna have that defense down from Lydia. I'm praying to have it, please. Let me have that available. Lydia, please. Thank you so much. Arbiter, can you give me some turn meter? No, you cannot. Please, splash damage. Now is the moment. Ah, why? Why? Couldn't you chill in there 5 more seconds? Okay, no splash damage. Splash damage. We killed 1 head, and we're going hard for the head of Rat right now. And this is gonna spawn back as well. Man, if I would have had just a bit more turn meter on my team, that would have been something. That would have been something. But still, turn 8, 12 million damage. I feel like we're doing fairly decent. That heal reduction really messed up my Supreme Gallic, but it's fine because if he dies, that Devouring counter is gonna go to somebody else. Not very important here though. Okay, 263k hit. Let's get that up and running. That fear is annoying, and we have no way to basically deal with it at the moment, you know. Nothing set up. You could try somehow Inquisitor Shamael in here. That might help you a lot with the damage too. But I'm trying to think, who would I replace for Inquisitor Shamael? Hard to say, I'll be honest. I don't know who. I don't even know why I used that skill on that Molly right now. I feel like it was unnecessary. And thank you so much, Head of Torment. Thank you. So my boys are down. My boys are down, but that's fine. This is honestly, is much harder to run them with a team like this. But I wanted to show you something a bit different. I wanted to show you something a bit that's not so hardcore like the team that I showed you yesterday. Just to kind of like have the feeling of what would wait for you if you're building the team. And the main point is that my gear is pretty good, you know. So if your gear is gonna be way weaker than mine, as an idea, it's gonna be more difficult for you, you know. But again, you could potentially have different champions that are more powerful and they bring more utility to a team like this, and they are just more helpful, you know. I have no clans right now. This is gonna die again, but I'm gonna be able to revive with Molly at some point. So let's just go with it. Oh, he actually healed himself with the with the Masteries instead, even though he had that, doesn't matter. Maybe he weak hit actually on the Head of Suffering, another magic head. We have 3 magic heads this rotation. It's just not the right one for them. And no, it's not just an excuse to say that poor little fellas, you know. It's just that is a bad rotation for them. Let's try to kill the Head of Suffering, because the Head of Torment, sorry. It's pretty annoying here. Pretty annoying. Okay, we got him down. Revive. And let's hope for the best now. Increase attack. I was gonna say maybe we put a weaken, but we're gonna wait with that. Splash some damage like this. Okay. Provoke again. Drop some damage like that. I wish Supreme Gallic would have had some defense down as well. Not even asking for much. Not even asking for much, but that would have been awesome. Awesome. So we pushed the turn meter, but was not enough. The Head of Rat is back. Not a fan of him. Can we get some splash damage ASAP? Pretty please. 22 turns, and we have 20 million damage. I feel like we're doing pretty good, man. We're doing pretty good. Madman, 666k damage. That was interesting to see. Splash damage, please. No splash damage either. You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes it just feels like that 50% chance is an actual 10% chance for him to do it. And a lot of it not to do it. Okay. Head of Mischief is back in business. We gotta deal with the head of Decay here. Best option. he's going to take a turn and try to provoke me. If I'm gonna put block damage, let's go like this, safer. I'm not gonna revive just yet. I might regret it, but it's fine. He's fine. Everybody's provoked, seriously? Okay, so we lost him as well. I had a feeling that it would be a bad idea to revive, you know. And I was right. Now we can do this and kill the head of a decay as fast as possible. I don't need to use the defense down, thankfully. So if we're gonna hit a good damage, splash some to the head of mischief. If we can keep the head of suffering down, the head of decay down, my bad, and then kill the head of mischief super fast, we're gonna be able to keep that down and deal some splash damage on him. Hopefully. Counters, no? Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, we are a bit in danger with all the buffs. Perfect. I was got. Oh no, we're still in danger with the buffs. I was scared of that happening. I was scared of that. I was like, no, please don't. But it did. Splash damage, baby. No splash, okay. That's what I'm saying, guys. It feels like sometimes it doesn't want to proc, you know. I need to kill the head of mischief, man. Oh, nice. To drop that thermometer was so important to do it. Because now it will give me the chance to actually drop in some more damage before, maybe. Before nothing. Forget about it. But you get it. It's definitely a bit of a struggle to run a team like this. I'll be honest with you. If I would have some crazy damage dealer instead of one of them maybe, or instead of the provoker, if I would run a team where I just burst through all of these heads, if I would have a team that doesn't need me to worry about provoke, worry about mischief target, I would just completely destroy these heads with them, and the damage would be much crazier. You know, like definitely much better. Like right now, this was actually nice. I'm hoping that I'm gonna get to do another move before he spawns here, you know? But it's not happening, and right now I have 3 magic heads on the board. 3 magic heads, and I'm actually gonna stop it here, guys. My team is still working. I can still crack on and deal damage, but the problem is 3 magic heads is not gonna be fun for me, and the main idea is the team works. I just wanted to kind of like prove a point that you can make something more non-conventional for this sort of bad boys like the Madman twins, you know. And let me know if you want to see different variations with Madman, of course. But I feel like I kind of said pretty much what I had to say with the team that I showed you yesterday and the one that I showed you today. Like, for example, I'm gonna back out. So 36, we have 35 million damage. Let's end battle and see the total damage from them. So we have a Supreme Gallic with 11, and we have one Madman with 8.8, one Madman with 4.7 on a 35 million damage. Now, the longer the run, the more damage we would have gotten from the Madmans, and Supreme Gallic would have been left behind, okay? If we're gonna do a different thing, okay? So let me just show you a different thing. I'm gonna show it to you again, just so you kind of like have an idea. If we're gonna drop that and play it different. Ally attacks. The reason why I said ally attack is so important for them is because they have the chance to use that A1 more often. Use it on and on and on, you know? So if we're gonna go in like this. This is already something that's gonna burst damage like crazy. Now, what I'm gonna have to do right now is retry it, and the reason for it is because Lydia is the fastest champion that I have on the team, and she needs to put Hex on the head of Mischief to take him down first. That didn't land, so we gotta come back to it again. That's what I meant. You gotta be pretty patient with these teams, you know. And there we go. We've got it up and running, so we should be able to take the head of Mischief almost down just with that. Now we're gonna attack the head of Rat. Because what's happening, the head of Rat kills my champions. Head of Mischief is gonna go down now. Drop the thermometer. Then we have Turvold coming in with a A3, killing the head of Rat. the heads are down much faster than they were before when we didn't have enough damage, but we had more sustainability. We had revivers, we had different things, you know. So now it's gonna be played a bit different. I do need to have that defense down. Hopefully we're gonna get it soon from my Lydia. Splash some of the damage, Turvold buff, and just go and get this head down as well slowly. No refresh accessories proccing on nobody. That definitely makes a bit of a difference. Unfortunately, they got that on. I don't necessarily think that is gonna save them. You see, how I mentioned, unlike Corpulent, the Toxic Cloud, the Weak Hits, and the rest really work against him, you know? So it's not the same cup of tea. Keep that in mind, you know? But look at that, turn 5, 13 million damage. And you could make this even crazier. You could make this even crazier, guys. 100% crazier. But now if the head of Mischief decides to steal some buffs from me, I have no protection against it. Literally no protection against it. Okay, so let's do that. I'm gonna save that skill actually. Use the A1 instead, better. Splash. No splash. Maybe we got a splash now with the ally attacks. Damn, we haven't got splash either with ally attacks. Let's put the defense down and weaken. And let's buff. Gonna try to target the head of Mischief. Deal some damage on him. It's fine, we lost the buffs from Cardiel, which are not that important. Unfortunately, the heads are starting to come back, and we dealt no serious splash damage because of the 50% chance. But still, much better. Turn 10, 23 million damage. So you already got the 1 key damage. And the splash damage comes now a bit too late. Don't you think so, game? But as an idea, you see how much easier it is to set it up when you have some crazy DPS with you, some ally attacks, and you have the team set in a different way. Normally, I would retry this and come back to it and kind of like count on a couple of better hits. But let me just quickly show you the builds that I have on the champions that we initially used, guys. So we're gonna start with the Madmans. We have 2 of them, and yes, they do have some of the best gear that I have on my account. At least one of them, the one from yesterday, I haven't changed the build on him. So this has a lot of crit damage. He has a lot of attack. No area selected because we are on the test server, guys. I can't remember if we mentioned that before. If not, I'm gonna mention it again. But these stats are pretty crazy, pretty hard to achieve, and you can lower them. Like this one is not as powerful by any means. Like you can see the difference is a massive difference in the stats. You know, the champion itself still has a pretty good base attack, so getting over 5k attack is not something impossible, not at all actually. For an endgame account, not free to play, but an endgame account that farms some gear, you will be able to reach the 6k attack, you know. 1.3k attack. Legendaries have a 1.4k attack, most of them, unless except the more OP nukers, you know. And masteries, identical on both of them, guys. Literally identical. I was thinking to maybe run them with a GURP Moss Beard for block buffs and just to increase their damage. But my problem was that they were dying too fast with all the poisons left and right, you know. And then we had Arbiter. I mean, Arbiter is just on speed gear, nothing crazy there. Let me just move my screen so you can see the total stats. So she's 370 speed, Arbiter, masteries, defense, support. Then we have Molly Tankard, right? She's built on a regeneration and a perception set. She's missing the ring. Total stats, some good survivability. I have a lot of resistance and accuracy on her because I was running her on Nightmare and Brutal Hydra as well before. So that's why I have these stats on her. More speed to overlap the boss to make sure we're always keeping that down. And then we have Lydia. And that's my Lydia right here on a curse set, a perception. Total stats on her. I pushed the speed quite a bit now. I use some glyphs on her to get her faster than the rest of the champions, faster than Cardiel and stuff. Masteries. offense and support tree. And then the last champion was who? Supreme Gallic, right? There we go. So Mr. Supreme, relentless, cruel. I haven't changed the build on him in so long. 5k attack, 234 speed, full crit rate, 250 crit damage, 330 accuracy, and masteries, offense and support. Hopefully you found this video helpful, because the one from yesterday was more of a show sort of a thing. And let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you tempted to build a Madman team? Will you do it? What champions are you planning to use with him? I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. Maybe we're gonna get some different ideas for other comps in the future. Appreciate every single one of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.